All right, good morning, everybody. It's your boy Akin, and welcome to today's vlog. I'm here to give you a final first round mock draft for the 2016 NFL Draft. Now, due to the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles traded up to second overall, I had to make a lot of changes in my first round. And for this vlog, I'm going to go as quickly as possible and talk about each individual selection of the first round of this year's draft. Start with the number one overall pick belonging to the St. Louis Rams. Now, I believe that they're going to go with Jared Goff from Cal. Because of the fact that they're actually moving to LA, they're going to have to select a quarterback to help build this team. And it was a debate between Goff and Carson Wentz out of North Dakota State. But I actually had to go with Goff because he's a better passer and he's a better passer-ready quarterback compared to him in Wentz. Wentz is more of a project, and being at St. Louis, where he doesn't really have much tutelage from a veteran quarterback if you're looking to depend on Nick Foles. But unlike Goff, who already has the tools, it's pretty much where we already see what we're going to get out of this guy. And mind you guys, like I said before, he is from Cal, playing for the Cal Bears, staying in state to head off for his new team for the LA Rams. At number 2, belonging to the Philadelphia Eagles, that's where I will have to go with Carson Wentz out of North Dakota State. Now, we all have been hearing about rumors about Sam Bradford decided not to go to the volunteer off-season program and practices with the team. Even though he signed a 2-year, $36 million contract, he's not feeling the position that Philly had at number 2 overall, and he's definitely scared of losing his job as the starting quarterback. But I think he could definitely needs to suck it up and help out Carson Wentz during his career, at least be a good coach before he could possibly lose his job or even outbeat him. Now, let's not forget, Sam Bradford made a lot of money throughout his career, and he didn't really live up to his contract. He should be happy that he signed a 2-year, $36 million deal. At number 3, belonging to the San Diego Chargers, I'm going to have to go stick with Laremy Tunsil out of Ole Miss to help build protection for Phillip Rivers. At number 4 for the Dallas Cowboys, I'm sticking with Jalen Ramsey out of Florida State. Because of his versatility, he's such a great athlete, and he would be a big upgrade for the Cowboys secondary. At number 5, now I'm going to have to make a change here. Previously, I went with Miles Jack out of UCLA, but I decided to change things up and go with Joey Bosa out of the Ohio State at the defensive end position. Let's not forget they do have Dante Fowler out of Florida, but he did not play last season due to a torn ligament in his knee, and he can play both the defensive end and outside linebacker, but I think the team's going to try to convert him more playing outside linebacker. At number 7 for my San Francisco, for number 6 for the Baltimore Ravens, I'm going to have to go with Ronnie Stanley, the offensive tackle. He definitely went up in my draft board to help build protection in their investment in Joe Flacco. For my San Francisco 49ers at number 7, I'm going to have to go with Miles Jack out of UCLA. I think he could be a great tandem working along with Navarro Bowman, who was one of the league's leading tacklers. At number 8 for the Cleveland Browns, I'm going to have to go with DeForest Buckner out of Oregon, the defensive end. They desperately need a pass rusher. At number 9 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I decided to switch things up. I think I originally started off with another player, but then I went with Leonard Floyd. Now I'm actually going to go with Vernon Hargreaves out of Florida to help address things in the secondary. He is my top cornerback. At number 10 for the New York Giants, I'm sticking with Ezekiel Elliott out of the Ohio State. At number 11 for the Chicago Bears, I first went with William Jackson III. Now I'm going with outside linebacker Leonard Floyd coming out of Georgia, moving a couple bumps back. I actually had him starting off with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers before switching off with Vernon Hargreaves. At number 12 for the New Orleans Saints, I'm going to go with Sheldon Rankins, sticking with him as my original pick. Number 13 for the Miami Dolphins, I decided to switch things up. I first went with Xavier Howard out of Baylor, but I decided to actually go with William Jackson III out of Houston. And now for number 14 for the Oakland Raiders, that's when I went with Xavier Howard. We have been seeing history of them going with wild selections, and I don't think that Howard is a wild selection. He is definitely a great cover corner. We've been seeing that he has good ball skills and good abilities to close into the football to swat the football away. At number 15, the original number 1 overall pick belonging to the Tennessee Titans. I now have Titans at number 15. They're going with Jack Conklin out of Michigan State, the offensive tackle, to be a good protector for Marcus Mariota. At number 16 for the Detroit Lions, I'm going to go with Jaron Reed coming out of Alabama. 17 for the Atlanta Falcons, I'm sticking with Darren Lee, the outside linebacker from Ohio State. Number 18, decided to move a player up from the Kansas City Chiefs, my previous selection, and Noah Spence out of Eastern Kentucky. The Colts can definitely use them as well at number 18. Number 19 for the Buffalo Bills, I'm going to go with Reggie Ranklin, the linebacker coming out of Alabama. Number 20, I'm actually going to have to go with for the New York Jets. That's when I'm now going to go with the risk here, and I have to go with Paxton Lynch. Not too much of a risk because they're having issues with Ryan Fitzpatrick. They haven't really signed him to a big deal. So they're going to have to go with Paxton Lynch as a future quarterback and help learn from Ryan Fitzpatrick for the next upcoming seasons. I think this could be a decent selection. I hope he's not a bust. I kind of feel he will be, but hopefully he can prove me wrong. At number 21 for the Washington Redskins, I'm sticking with a defensive tackle here and a Sean Robinson out of Alabama. Decided to switch things up for number 22 for the Houston Texans. I originally went with Hunter Henry coming out of Arkansas, the tight end, but I decided to go with a wide receiver and Corey Coleman out of Baylor in this selection. Number 23, this is a good pickup for this one. I had to go with Laquan Treadwell for the Minnesota Vikings. They desperately need a number 1 target, and Treadwell can be that guy. At number 24, I'm going to have to go with Josh Doctson, the wide receiver out of TCU for the Cincinnati Bengals. Number 25 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm actually have to go with another cornerback in this one, and Eli Apple out of the Ohio State to join with Ryan Shazier, the outside linebacker. Number 26 for the Seattle Seahawks, I'm sticking with Robert Nkemdiche. I think this could be a great selection for that Seattle defense. At number 27 for the Green Bay Packers, I think I originally had another player, but I had to go with the defensive tackle. I think I went with a tight end or a linebacker in this one. I forgot. Sorry if I forgot, but I do know I switched that selection. I had to go with Andrew Billings, the defensive tackle out of Baylor. At number 28 for the Kansas City Chiefs, I originally had Noah Spence from Eastern Kentucky, but now I have the Colts picking them at number 18. For now, I have to go with Shaq Lawson, the defensive end out of Clemson, to help bring more youth in upgrades for their pass rushers. At number 29 for the Arizona Cardinals, I originally went with a cornerback, but I'm now going to go with the best center entering this year's draft in Ryan Kelly out of Alabama. At number 30, I'm going to have to go with Taylor Decker for the Carolina Panthers. As I mentioned before, because of the foul play in the Super Bowl with the terrible play for both tackles against that Bronco defense, we already know that they can use a good quality offensive tackle to protect Cam Newton. And at number 31 for the Denver Broncos, I originally had Chris Jones out of Mississippi State, but I decided to switch things up because I do like this player a lot. Vernon Butler, another defensive tackle, but he's hailing from Louisiana Tech. So that gives you my entire first round mock draft. I am sticking with this guy, with this draft, no matter what anybody says. I don't care what you guys say. Well, actually, I do care. I do want to hear your responses, but I'm going to stick with these guys. I'm not going to switch things up this time. We actually are going to be seeing this first round of this year's draft this upcoming Thursday. I wish every team the best of luck. Now, the next time I'm going to catch you guys will be later on next week, or possibly in 2 weeks tops, in which I will start giving you my draft grades for this year's draft. Thank you for watching today's blog. I'm your man, Akin McCall. Be easy.